I am so excited for November 2nd. I am ready for us to take back our country.
Douche. What? I'm sorry, who are we taking back our country from?
From the imperial communist fascist socialist dictatorship that has ruled us for too long.
Are you talking about the Obama administration that has been in office for barely 2 years?
Yes. And other things.
Okay, what other things?
I don't know right now. I will have to get back to you on that.
Were these other things stuff you might have heard from Alex Jones or Rush Limbaugh?
Why, yes. How did you guess?
I must just be lucky. Well, let's take apart what you just said step by step. Do you know what the more powerful people who use the term "let's take our country back" are talking about?
I think so.
No, you don't. They are older white people who talk about taking America back, and they are talking about America back in the early 1950s, when it was still cool to kick and stomp on black people, homosexuals had no voice, and were still in the closet, women were still subjugated to their husbands. Just think of the word pity.
That's not true. Sarah Palin said we are sick of paying these high Obama taxes, you betcha. And then she winked. I think she was winking at me personally.
You realize Americans paid less in taxes this year than in the last 70 years, right? Are you also aware that most of the top 10 American corporations paid $0 in taxes in 2009, right? That's right. Zero. Look it up.
I don't really look stuff up. I just listen to Ann Coulter.
I understand. Further, do you also understand that imperial, fascist, communist, and socialist are four separate forms of government that differ from each other immensely?
That's not true. Andrew Breitbart told me that Obama is all for.
Oh God.
Yeah. That reminds me, we need to bring God back to this country too. You know this country was founded on Christianity, don't you?
It absolutely wasn't.
It was too. Glenn Beck told me that when he stood on the same steps that black guy stood on 40 years ago.
Fitting, right? Well, if I wanted to listen to over-exaggerated effeminate hyperbole, I would watch the Perez Hilton show.
It's true though. Sarah Palin said that the Constitution provides a path to a more perfect union, and we need a commander-in-chief, not a constitutional law professor lecturing us from a lectern.
I'm sorry, when you wake up, do you ever check for signs that you might have been lobotomized during the night?
Well, no. But I do have headaches sometimes from praying so hard the night before.
You know that, although some of the founders were religious men, they all agreed that religion was a private matter, and it had no place in the forming of America, right?
That's not true. Glenn Beck wrote on his chalkboard for 45 minutes about how that's not true.
Have you ever read the Treaty of Tripoli, specifically Article 11?
Isn't Tripoli in Arab land? I think there's dragons there.
Okay, well then maybe we need to go a little more basic. What about the First Amendment?
Oh yeah, that was so amazingly awesome, when Christine O'Donnell told that Marxist at the debate, how there was nothing in the First Amendment about the separation of church and state. Blammo. Talk about winning a debate.
Alright. You know she's also not a witch. She's just an idiot, which is much more dangerous.
She is not dangerous, she is a good Christian. She is only running, because God told her to.
Oh, that's right. You realize there were apparently similar instructions from God to those Muslims who flew airplanes into buildings, right? You do understand that Christianity is just the other side of the same coin, right?
That's another thing, now that you say coin. Who does this Obama think he is with this whole stimulus?
Do you know what TARP is? Or what it stands for?
I'll have to check with Bill O'Reilly.
It stands for Troubled Asset Relief Program. And it was signed into law by George W. Bush. It was a $700 billion program to buy up troubled assets.
George W. Bush's anointed saint. How dare you sully his wonderful name? You are all just Romans trying to crucify him.
Sure. Anyway. Republicans are mostly business-oriented, right?
Right.
So what is the first rule of business?
That you have to spend money to make money.
Thank you for making my point.
But America is not a business. It is the land of Jesus and honey. It is the home of the free, except if you are gay, or black, or a Jew, or Mexican, or Japanese, or Croatian, or a non-gun owner, or don't like Jesus.
These people vote, and we are so fucked.